There is a small group of people on the world who are awakening, who are beginning to understand that we've been living their life in fantasy land, and we're actively seeking the truth. But when the secret power structure says, right out of one of their own technical names, that a nation, a world of people who do not use their intelligence are no better than animals who do not have intelligence, and thus are stakes on the table by choice of consent.
From the government, via the media, the supply of cover, send wider and speedier, hiring buffer cheats, that lie and get greedier, buyers requiring seats in a reliable media. Many motives make manipulation easy for traders. That's why I don't believe all that I read in the papers. They can easily confuse them as pleasing behaviors made to persuade people. People should be meeting their makers with the textbook technique to reinforce the attitudes. In my whole plaid pack and jacket, ragged hat and tattered shoes. I wanna see so I see more. The same sorts of stagnant news, the forces that abuse, leave all sorts of scattered clues. The crap and back the news to motivate more dead than murder. Lift up the hate together and spread the myth. When they spread peace, they try to block it or stop the propagation. But every press release is a psychological operation. Everything is a sign. Like a cyclops. One night, the roads of Camber's it's a backdrop on stage and it's burning and ends up where obstacles and the agenda. Now I see the world is like a stage. Curtains, false flags raised, get the crowd to salute and applaud half-days. Can't share the rhythm, smell your brother. Fed to misled by the music media. I don't see an end, I just see you getting slippier. They come down with masses using mind tricks like magic. Witchcraft and symbols of ritualistic madness. Discredit the truth, and both for credit. It's what we do. Look how you mesmerize. Propaganda pimps, prostitute and confusion. Disinformation agents, it's an optical illusion. They keep you drunk and sluggish, entertain you with rubbish. Tell us in God we trust, but don't put your faith in the public.
If you can control the stories, you don't need to have soldiers on the street corners to control people with their own hands and their own imagination.
As long as you can manage and manipulate public perception, you can control public behavior and how the ultimate battlefield really is in the mind.
The technique, the flex, the technique, your names, the getting it to the way, the leg sheet, the press, the leg deep, fresh meat for next week. Yeah, I know it's so deep, it'll go me. I don't sleep, cause I know that I'm going in what I sow, so I go see. I ain't really no see, I ain't bowing to no peace. I ain't really going to I ain't following the slow shit. Playing this whole times I'm with some cool view. Columbia's getting too good. Specific scenes for your mind, it's undestructive humanity. Make you a trying, come and go on, fixing insanity. We'll break you down, take you down, and make you submit. Keep playing now, so it's clear. It's a sign. One night like a cyclops. One night in the that's a rose like embarrassing. Everything is a lie, yeah. All is not in time. It's a backdrop on stage, and it's burning and black ops, false
to do it every day because it's unnatural. If it was natural, they wouldn't do it. And if they stop, they know that they don't do it all the time.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. Like us, subscribe to us, because we're really not talking to you, we're really talking to your children. Because what we have to give, you probably won't get it. You've been in the matrix too long. But the children are going to get it. There's videos being shown everywhere where children are doing things that the parents are like, what was that? This is what's happening now. This is why psyops has to be prevalent on you. Everything you see is a mind fuck. Everything. See, I told my daughter, I said, listen, call me back if it's Britney Spears is a man or a woman. Oh, you're talking that black stuff. I'm like, I mean, you know, you're a woman. You tell me. I can tell you. I know what a woman is. You should be able to tell me what a man is. I haven't heard back from her. Because what you think, if somebody else has it in their hands, your ass is done. And that's what this whole psyops is going on with. You know how I do. Try to get it on the weekend, Friday, but I know it's Saturday. But the Accomac Guardian is going to come drop some stuff on y'all. Yes. Okay. I'm bringing you on now. Lisa Cyphers, y'all.
Okay, hey, hi everyone. Thank you for having me. I don't know if you guys are getting a static from me. Are you getting a static from me too? Is it still staticky? Can somebody let me know? If the static is still there, give me a 1. Not me. Okay, so I don't know, maybe go in and come back out. I don't know, but yeah, I heard the static too before we started. My sound is fine. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. Anyway, I don't know if we should start all over again or what. What do you think? Okay. Get your sound together, sir. I want your sound to be back. Yes. Anyway, so what we're talking about is psyops, and the song kind of showed a lot of, the video showed a lot of imagery. It talked about 9/11. It had stuff from, just a lot of different things that people have looked at as psyops, and so we have to understand that we're being controlled, and that there are people who are they're seeking to just keep us under their oppression, and most of the things that we suffer from are man-made. So that's a problem. The fact that life would be so much better if we didn't have a bunch of evil people making our lives difficult, and that's a fact. So I wanted to liken this to Brer Rabbit. And so, because what we're not aware of, yeah, Carrie, you are looking good. What we're not aware of is that this whole thing, Brer Rabbit, Brer, those are indigenous tales. Those are American Indian tales. And if you happen to be in Georgia, the person that recorded Uncle Remus's tales of Brer Rabbit, Brer Bear, Brer Fox, all of that, Song of the South type stuff, is there's a museum in Eatonton, Georgia, which kind of is dedicated to that work. And it's very, very important that we recognize this for what it is. I want to also mention that one psyops that has me very upset this weekend is the fact that they are turning everything into African American. And if you may not think that that is something to be concerned with, but it's something to be a major concern, because when they turn our history, when they turn our people, our family members, when they turn our identity, when they turn our heritage into African American, they are actually committing genocide. That is genocide. Okay? And so, Brer Rabbit, I actually looked at this today. And when you read the Joel Handler part, and he's the writer, I changed. I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm not sure what. Hold on, I ain't got my screen up, so I don't know what you can see. Hold on. Am I sharing yet? I don't think I see it. Oh, I'm not on. Okay. Let me go back. Let me share the screen properly. Let me share the screen. Because I think I went out. Yeah, I sure did. All right, so let's do it right. Let's go to Joe Chandler. Okay, share. All right. So, with Joe Chandler. Joe Chandler, it says, because I changed it right before this viewing, it says African American, right? It did not say African American before this. Like, I'm going to make it bigger a little bit screen, okay? So it says, yeah, from the African American Negro tradition. I added that. It used to say African American. I changed it. You can actually edit Wikipedia. You can log in. If I log in, I think they give me more crap because they know it's me, and I've been battling with them about Acamac stuff and about, our chief stuff. So they fight me, and these people are like all over the world. They're like in, wherever, like somewhere in England, either in somewhere different places in Europe, Sweden, just obscure places, Germany, that are writing these things and are like the bannered or the medaled editors of these Wikipedias, and they will give you crap. Like, it's really crazy. Like, you will get into battles with them over stuff. Like, but that's what we need to be doing. We need to be fighting with these entities, with these agencies, with these so-called fake historians who are changing us, who are actually committing genocide because they're erasing us. When you call us African American, they're taking us off our land. They're taking us off our homeland. They're daggone extraditing us to they can't extradite us because it's not our country. They're removing us from our homeland. And they're removing our ancestors. They're deleting us. It's erasure. It's annihilation. So look at Brer Rabbit. Okay, Brer Rabbit is Song of the South. You see what it says? It's past that. I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't think I changed it yet for y'all. Did y'all see that change? Not yet. I got to do it through the system. Do it the right way. Let me do it the right way. Okay. Okay. Let me go and share it through the tab with this one. And let's go see Brer Rabbit. Okay, share. Yes, indeed. And then I can look. Okay, now Brer Rabbit is not helping me. Okay, that's not how I want it. Oh, God. For some reason it's not in the add it to the. I don't know what the heck is going on with this. Anyway, Brer Rabbit, it says that it is passed on by African Americans of the southern states. Problem. Now they're saying an African descendants in the Caribbean. Now they're adding the Caribbean, Turks, Caicos, Islanders. They're adding all this other stuff. Plus, they're saying that it's if you go down to where it says African origins, they got a whole thing that says African origins, right? What the world? So this is all new. This is all new information, right? This is a whole new creation here. African origins, the whole thing. Let me minimize this and go back and find my StreamYard. Okay. So this whole thing is a whole new entity, this whole African origin stuff, and making this a part of it is I don't know how I get this back together. Come on, let's join in. Let's add tabs.
Could you tell the story of Brer Rabbit?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get a little peek of Brer Rabbit. How about that? Hold on a second. Let's go see it. Let's go see a little bit because, I don't know if everybody's familiar with this. It's been a part of my history, but actually the movie that shared this story, Song of the South by Disney, has been banned as some kind of racial thing. But really what they I think, were trying to hide was the fact that we have this rich history and folklore and folk tales that are part of our indigenous history. They didn't want that to be out there. So let's get with that. Let's get with it. Hold on a second. Share the audio, share the tab of the good old Brer Rabbit. I'm not using Disney's because they're problematic. Here you go.
This is the story of Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. Brer Rabbit had a way of always doing things he had no business doing in the first place. I recollect one time when he was hopping down the road, happy as a jaybird.
How do you do?
Fine, are you? Are you? Come on.
Pretty good, sure as your mom.
Stop jumping, Brer Rabbit. You run out of breath. Why don't you sit down and calm yourself?
Well, the grasshopper jump. So do be free. I do what I like and I suits me. How you come up? Sure as your boy.
The weather's good, the fishing's fine. Now what do you do with all your time?
Oh, I say what you say. I tune on the road. That's what you ask me, that's what you know. How do you do? How you come on? Looking at you.
Brer Rabbit didn't know it at the time, but over the next hill, Brer Fox was planning to catch Brer Rabbit, and Brer Bear was helping Brer Fox. They were making a tar baby. Brer Fox was determined to outsmart Brer Rabbit once and for all. Yes, sir, this'll fool that Brer Rabbit. I sure am glad I thought of this tar baby. Brer Bear set the tar baby up on a log.
It won't fool anybody. It hasn't got any hair.
You're right, said Brer Fox, said Brer Fox, said Brer Fox, said Brer Fox. He snatched some fur from Brer Bear's tail.
Wow!
And stuck it on the tar baby's head. Now all he needs is your hat, Brer Bear. Yes, sir. He looks real fine. That rabbit'll sure be surprised. Now here he comes. Hi. Brer Fox and Brer Bear hid behind a tree stump and waited. Sure enough, Brer Rabbit came hopping down the lane with gladness in his heart and a smile on his face. Pretty soon, he saw the tar baby and said, "How do you do?" But the tar baby said nothing. Brer Rabbit thought maybe the tar baby didn't hear him, so he backed up and tried again. "How do you do?" But the tar baby still said nothing. Brer Rabbit couldn't figure this out. He scratched his ear with his back foot. "Didn't you hear me? I said, howdy." But the tar baby still said nothing. Brer Rabbit began to roll up his sleeve. "Guess no one ever taught you any manners. Now I'm going to give you to 3 to say howdy. 1, 2, 3. Brer Rabbit hauled back and smacked the tar baby right square on the jaw. Brer Rabbit's fist stuck in the tar, so he swung and hit the tar baby with his other fist. That stuck too. Then he kicked the tar baby. The madder he got, the more stuck in the tar he got. He pushed and he pulled. He heaved and he hoed, till he got so messed up in the tar, he could scarcely open his eyes. Well, this is just what Brer Fox wanted. He and Brer Bear.
I don't want to continue. I don't know if y'all want to continue, but I do have the link where you can continue watching. But the point of it being that we oftentimes get caught up by these psyops, that tar baby that has a lot of symbolism as to how they treated us, how they looked at us, the racism, the tarring of babies, the tarring of us. It's a lot to that, a lot of layers to this tale and fable. However, the point of it being is that although even in our tales and fables, they taught us that people are going to come around, come in our path and try to fool us, try to deceive us, try to try to put us off of our path, try to distract us. All this stuff has been taught from old times of old. These are old tales of old, ancient tales, really. And yet we're still not heeding the warning of our ancestors. We need to be aware of these things. So even like with Brer Rabbit, I'm going to show you a little something about how this can be, you can change things. So people are saying, yo, what are you doing about it? A lot of things can be done about a lot of things if you're willing to do it. If you're not willing to do anything, then that's you. But there are people that are doing things, trust and believe. That's not everybody. So, but anyway, when you look at go ahead and we look at it's still crackly.
I'm gonna shut up.
I think you have something on there. There's probably either you got a phone on or you got some other window on, some other mic on. Something's got to be. Yeah, it's put on your echo. Turn on your echo off button. The button that says no echoes on the settings. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not on. that removes the echoes. Okay, so when we look at Brer Rabbit, we can actually change this. This is an edible thing. We can edit it. If you're logged in, like I said, they know who did it. They know they got your IP address, da 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 da. And like I said, for me, it's problematic because they kind of give me crap. And it doesn't mean that if you change it, somebody's not gonna come right back and change it back, because that's what these racist people do, right? But you have to take the act on. You have to actually do something. If you don't actually do anything, then you're consenting to this. You're giving the okay to it. You're not saying, oh, it shouldn't be African American. What the world? No. No, we could change that to Indigenous American. What the world? It's not African.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you better, yeah.
Okay, so Nikki Brown says it's always a fighting battle with these people. Dude, the Brer Rabbit story just told you, you don't have to fight. And that's where we're blowing our energy. You're blowing it. You giving so much energy away fighting these motherfuckers, and they're hung. They're hung. But they use you to make sure everything's all right. And when you don't go for it, they bring in their buffers, the other people who aren't from here, who's running away from their homes to speak for you. What you gonna do about it, cuz?
So it's like, it's the whole point. You gotta be the one. Somebody's got to edit this stuff. Somebody's got to take some of this stuff out, get rid of some of this nonsense, publish it. What else is there? And then it says Indigenous Americans of Southern United States. Okay, like, then you take out this whole African thing. Why not? Go to edit. Take out the Africa. What the hell is that there for? Go down to the Africa stuff. Get it out. Remove it. You know, they're going to have to fight you. I mean, there's a lot of people who are retired. All they have to do is do stupid stuff. They could be in here every day redoing this stuff. They could be in every day taking down, battling over this stuff, because I probably, most likely, these people that are giving you crap on the other part of the world are retired people who are just, don't have anything better to do but promote their racist views and delete your existence. So we need to use our folks to do that. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm actually going to contact my cousin who's retired, and maybe I can get her to help get some of the stuff I need deleted. Okay, so trickster figures in. See, they're still putting in African things. See, all this Africa, da 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 da. These tales, everything is, they're trying to put us. This never was the story about Brer Rabbit. Brer Rabbit was never. And then they say Cherokee parallel. See, they're going to put Cherokee as an under thing, but everything else, they're trying to make it African. Because why? Because they want to make sure you're African. This is a known indigenous tale for the Negro, and they want to make it African when it actually has Cherokee roots. That's what they do. So now we got to get rid of all that crap. Anyway, let me not spend my time editing. Hold on. It's bugging me though. Trace back to Trickster. Where's the Cherokee? I saw a Cherokee. African, American adaptations. I thought I saw Cherokee something. I'm going to delete that. Shantae, Jamaican. See, they're just crazy. What the world? Delete. Okay. Now let's go ahead and save that. Publish it. I mean, and then doing a show of how we are deleting this also is part of how you change things. People edit summary. Cancel. What are they saying? I don't want to leave the site. All right. Anyway, like they're giving me problems, so let me just get off of this. It's really ridiculous. All right, so whatever. They're horrible. Okay, let me get off of them. Let me share something else. Okay. All right, so but basically that's the thing. I mean, you can make changes. You can make changes like this weekend they were having some kind of thing on in the Eastern Shore where they were trying to celebrate the African American history. Well, there is no African American history, okay? And you know, I objected to that. I sent them a message and I said cease and desist with this African American history stuff. Like these people on the Eastern Shore are not African. And you know, you're committing genocide. And I made a very big point of like letting them know that this is genocide, that you're annihilating my people, that the people that you speak of were never called African or African American. Why would you dishonor them by calling them something they would never recognize themselves as? That kind of stuff. So things can change and you can change things. But this is the thing. So, I mean, so then we go and look at, this is Joe Candler. Joe Candler we talked about. So let's just go on and talk about this whole thing of the other ways in which people are committing psyops, right? Which, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so a lot of people are talking about allodial title. A lot of people are talking about and I was like, so what is this? So not only are people making up tribal names out of their heads, you know, wee, wah wah, kuka, I don't know, all these different names, right? And the problem with that is that when you're trying to get real change or trying to achieve real change, real rights, real benefits for yourself and for generations to come, you can't base it upon like fake stuff. Your children cannot claim a fake nation. They can't be protected by a fake nation. You can't obtain land attached to a fake nation because a fake nation doesn't have land attached to it. You see how, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So, I mean, the only way to really be protected and to really be able to rise to the level of privileges and benefits and rights that we are entitled to have is to do real things. What is this person talk? Who is this person? What are they talking about? Anyway, but that, you know, what's Alabama? That's the tribe. So what do you mean? How can you say it's not a tribe when it is a tribe? Like what is that? You cannot like the word tribe, but the reality is that if you want to work and get changes, you're going to have to work with the terminology that's being used in the court and in the records and in the history. That's how you're going to be able to prove it. You sit up there trying to be all principled and saying, I'm not a tribe, you don't get you nothing. That just shows you haven't been doing anything because you don't know.
Are you in tribes today? You call yourselves communities, families. Tribes are not what people are in. People can't be put in tribes. Tribes are for animals. You would look at that when you see how they classify things. They classify you what they want you to be. And when you want to be that, I'm not going to argue with you. What do you say? What do you say you are? And the African American, Negro, Black, they never say. They always take what somebody else tells them they are, and they say, okay, boss, I will be that. Is that true or not? And that's what I'm saying. We can't take what other people tell us we are and try to make ourselves out of that. It won't work. I don't know how it hasn't worked, so I don't know how we don't see that. It doesn't work. What do you say you are? And my eyeballs get scratched out just for asking that.
But the real reality is people aren't finding out anything about who they really are anyway. So if you're not actually doing the work, and then people like to act like they got all these daggone principles and they're indignant about things when they haven't really, really done the research. That's a problem. But the reality is that whatever your nation is, you can use whatever word you want to as far as what it is. But the reality is, when you look it up in the records, if you really exist, it's going to be called a nation, a kingdom, or a tribe. That's what you're going to be called in historical references. And assuming that white people made those references is not really true, because most of the early references, your people were chiefly involved. Most of the earliest court records, like my people, were in the courts in 1640. That's pretty early. So if we're suing for land in 1640, don't you think we had an idea of what we were being called and who we were? I mean, I'm just trying to keep it real. Anyway, the reality of this is that, like I'm saying, is that people are organizing themselves in different ways. They're making up social groups, calling themselves nations or tribes or whatever they're doing. And then they're also forming these allodial nations or whatever. And the problem with that is that the people that are cheering on these allodial organizations and cheering on these pseudo made up associations, most of them you don't even know who they are. They're not even indigenous. They're foreigners. Because what you're doing is like you're opening the Pandora's box. You're opening that door to allow foreigners to be you once again. I mean, half these people are straight African. They're straight Africans. And you're allowing them access to your records, your land patents, your genealogy, and they're pretending to be you. See, allodial land, anybody. I mean, anybody. What is that? Okay, let me go through the process. They don't even tell you. See, this is what they do. They act like they got some kind of magic research that you don't have, right? So you got to come to them and give you your genealogy and your land patents, and then they pretend they're going to help you when they just going to help themselves. Because what they're not doing is showing you their land patents. They're not even showing you their real name, their real identity, their real genealogy. Okay? They're not showing you nothing. And you sit up there, you flog to their channels. They have fake accents. They're not Georgia people. They sound like, I don't know what, but if you know anything about Georgia, that's not Georgia. That's like some made up accent. And then you're running and flocking to them with some allodial titles and allodial nations and what are you kidding me? And they run around and talk about the patent and draw a square on a piece of paper saying, this is my square. You have your square. Where's your patent, miss? Where's your people? Where are your surnames? Where's your land? Where's your genealogy? You asking for all this and act like you so care about people getting their land patents. Where is yours? Have you gotten yours? Where's your work? What have you done? You can't help nobody if you ain't got nothing to show. Show and prove. Why do y'all believe these phonies? That's right, they're actors. They're bad actors. A straight African is fooling y'all. Don't y'all have any kind of, come on now. Come on. Look, all I had to do, because I was like, what is this Alloid? I'm telling you the truth. I didn't know what the Allodial crap was. But then I looked it, all I did was Google it on my phone. Booyah. All right. So I just Googled it on my phone and I was like, okay, let me share it with you. Because and what I'm showing you is in the link. It's not a secret, okay? Because real people do real things and they don't gotta hide shit. Real people do real things. And I don't have to give you crumbs and tell you my real name is out there. Google me, Lisa Cypress. What am I doing? It will tell you I have a lawsuit for my land. Real people do real things. So when you look this up, this Allodial thing, which is whatever, it's right out there for the public and easy for you to understand. Let's not make it complicated. Let's understand that if she can do it, was she some kind of genius? You can't do it. If I can do it, you can do it. All right. Where did I find it? Where did I put it at? Oh, that's Griner.
So, Nikki Brown, what you say when you say all your people were farmers, basically all you're saying, and this is why you look on the money back in the day, you're on the money, you're farmers. The farmers were basically the caretakers of the land. I mean, this is simple. All your people were farmers. What did the farmers do? Made sure that everybody eat, make sure that everybody have materials for clothes, make sure that everybody have materials for housing.
The farmers were the owners. The farmers were the planters. So don't get it twisted. That is just the opposite of being a slave. Okay. So, okay, here it is. Let's look at it. Very simple. How to claim a method to obtain a allodial title to your property. Okay. So this is the thing. Yeah. And okay. So it's very simple. And when I read it, I was like, oh, that's the same thing I did for my claim. Okay. It's the same steps. And the thing that I learned in doing the steps was that it's real. Is a little bit concerning because when I did bring my information in for the for this my land patent, they didn't require my daddy and mommy's birth certificate, marriage records, my birth certificate to show my line of that I have a actual substantial claim. They didn't want those records. They actually don't record those records, which to me makes me nervous. And what it tells me is that's how foreign people can come in and get your land. And that's how they used it. They designed it weak like that. So they could come in and take our land. That's what they did. The reason why the access to claim title, allodial title to your property is weak as hell is because that's how they took your land in the first place. And now you got these foreigners coming in, talk about land patents, land patents, land patents. They're not talking about build your daggone nation, claim your identity, get out of this matrix, be the people that you're supposed to be so you can be free of this friggin' daggone corporation. They're not trying to get you free. They're trying to get you lost. They're trying to get you evicted out of your country while they take your place and take your land. Realize who you're dealing with. Understand that you can't trust these people. Allodial title gives you absolute right to your land without any obligation to any landlord, sovereign, or governing. If you have allodial title to land, it cannot be seized. No government agency or bank can place any lien, attachment, or encumbrance on your land secured by allodial title. You must follow a specific method for obtaining allodial title to your property. Getting allodial title is sometimes called getting a land patent. So she's asking for people's land patents. So you're already handing her a land patent, which all she has to do is claim it. Obtaining a warranty deed, a quitclaim deed, documented assignment. So that's what I did. You go assign it to yourself. You quitclaim it to yourself. That's the process. It's not a secret. You hear it? You got it? I'm telling you. You must establish a complete chain of title leading up to you as the current owner of the property. So that means you have to show and prove how it went from the person who supposedly has the title, has the patent, till it goes to you. So you have to show that. But the thing about it is that they don't require your birth certificate or death. They don't require, to me, what is real evidence of your chain of title, right? Which is very sketchy, which is how anybody, my people are in a courthouse with all these, the oldest records in the nation that date back to the 1632. I've seen Africans and Asians in that courthouse looking at old deeds. Why are they looking at them, y'all? Why are they walking through our graveyards? Because the process of taking your land is very simplified. And they don't require real verification. You have to certify your copy. You get certified copies of your documents, of your patents and things like that. But other than that, it's really not that much. The county clerks, to put the land description of your property in land patent format, the county clerk's written description of your land may be in a variety of formats. To obtain a allodial title, convert the description to a STRF, meaning section, township, and range format. This is the best legal description of your property. That is an important detail. You may need a real estate agent to help you with that. That is an important detail. Acquire a copy of the land patent for your land. Take the legal description of your land to the Bureau of Land Management. Ask the Land Patent Records Office. Ask the Land Patent Records Office. Ask for the Land Patent Records Office at the Bureau of Land Management and show them your property description and proof of ownership, and then request a certified copy of the land patent. You have to fill out a declaration of acceptance of the land patent, which you will obtain for free from your county courthouse. It's a legal form. Fill out this form completely using the documentation you have gathered to answer all the questions about your ownership of the property. Sign this form in front of a notary public. And then you file your land patent. File your declaration form along with the certified copies of your warranty deed, quitclaim deed, or any proof you have to the land, and a certified copy of the land patent. File this set of documents in the county clerk recorder's office where records are kept. File a public notice. Now, my story's in the paper. They know what I'm fighting for. It's a known entity. So that's part that happened as a natural part of the process. And then you obtain a copy of newspaper and keep the page with it with your notice on, including the date, in a file that's safe from water or fire. Post a certified copy of your documents at the county courthouse. Find public notices bulletin board at your county courthouse. Post certified copies, your proof of ownership, declaration of acceptance of the land patent, and the land patent itself on this bulletin board. You may also want to photograph yourself posting to have a visual proof of your action. These are really great steps. I bet people have been watching Dr. Chief, whatever, Janice for years and haven't been given these steps that are just Googleable. Googleable. Then you got Dan Calloway saying that you can't do nothing with a land patent. There's no such thing or whatever. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what their little battle's about. But all these people are distractors and they are psyops. People need to stop being distracted by these people. Stop it. They are not doing real things.
Remember, y'all, it's with you. I mean, she just gave you a 10-minute rundown on Allodial titles. 10 minutes. Didn't charge you nothing. Didn't have to send in a fee. Didn't have to send Jesus nothing. This information is out there, y'all. We're just asking the questions that you won't ask. We're just thinking what you won't think because you have been psyop so much, and especially the African American. You should be tired of swallowing. You're letting all these foreigners come over here and pimp your whole ass, and you're with it. You pay them. This is what the African American does. Later, for what I'm saying, this is what the African American does, and will slap the shit out of you if you tell him he's not doing it. This is what he does. He don't care about his mama. He don't care about his mama in Opelika, Alabama. He don't care about her. Nah. He don't care about his people down there in Florida, up there in Virginia. You don't care about that. He an African. He want them to get your shit. Don't you? This is where we at. So, this isn't for this is for the newborn. This is for the people who don't even understand yet. This is your land, homie. Don't let these people take your grandmama's land from you. The African American's with it. The African American will do it. That's his job. That's what he's been trained to do. He won't do nothing else. He will make sure his mama's land is given to other people. That's what the African American does. Ask them if you think I'm lying. They'll tell you.
I just want to say that, Brandon, if you contact the Register of Deeds, you're not going to need to go on BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, GLO. You need to find your land patents on Ancestry or on there. You need to go to the county courthouse. They're not going to, first of all, they don't have time to do that. The people in the Register of Deeds and stuff, they don't have time for that. They're not going to respond to you. You have to do the research yourself. You can also look in the library, like the Library of Virginia. There are old patents. Some of them are registered there. You can look them up online at the Library of Virginia. I'm not sure how other states work, but I do know that there are some patents there. Yeah, exactly. So you know, We keep it landlocked. I don't know what that means. But yeah, so basic I don't know what that means. Keep it landlocked.
I do.
What's he
I
saying?
keep it in your pockets instead of giving it away.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Landlocked. You locked to the land.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, these people, it just doesn't make sense. Like, think about it. All I did was Google it on my phone, shared it with you. The link is in the description, so you can come back to this same video. Make sure you make a comment. Make sure you share it. And in the description is a link to that whole list. And if you follow that list, that's the list. But the reality is this. I don't recommend that anybody just runs and tries to get a patent, because for any patent that I claim, like the one I'm claiming, the ones I'm claiming, hundreds, thousands of people are related to my ancestor. Thousands. I'm not the only one. But because I am ethical, I'm already organized a mechanism to share. I'm organized I've organized my people. I've repatriated the Acamax. So it's not like I'm just doing this. I'm doing this as an individual, but as an individual, I'm ethical. And as an individual, my intentions and my plan is to share with those that are not myself and not my families and not my cousin, not my kin, but those who are Acamac, because everybody who's an Acamac ain't related to me. We're largely related to each other, but of course we're not totally, because that's how we're able to marry within our nation. So some people are just like the people that you're supposed to marry, and they're your kin. I call them kin. They're not actually blood related, but they are, related by being in the same nation. And we share common, like they may be related to somebody that I am related to by marriage, and it's the stuff like that. But that is very evident and very strong. And once you actually connect with your true roots, you'll find that's what happens. And the more people do their genealogy, the more they'll find that they do have common threads, like, oh, you're a Bagwell, I'm a Bagwell too. Oh, you got this one. Oh, okay, yeah, I got a sample. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, you related to that. You'll find that you have these common connections. So I mean, that's the fun part. But and the other thing is that a lot of people are like, oh, like my family. Well, guess what? Your family got bigger, because once you start actually researching your history, there's so many more people in your family that you're not aware of, that you're bound to find a lot of people that you actually can vibe with, that you actually really, really enjoy being around, that you actually have a lot of things in common with. And that alone is a valuable gift to actually get out of this whole process.
But
Um,
Belize, can we get back on the psyops thing? Because
yes, yes.
that's really what's going on in the culture today, is really psyoping people. And
Right.
this is one of the examples I want to give you. The sister ice cream cake said, Carrie, as you're getting older, you look more indigenous. And if you look at me, am I the same color as my t-shirt? No, the t-shirt is black. I'm not black. But when you having people calling themselves something they're not, Lisa, you said it's so profound earlier. That's what you become. Black cannot be moved unless it's moved by another people. Black is nothing. You're more than that. But you call yourselves in nothing. Something that you wipe your feet on a mat, and the mat. That's what you teach your children they are. That's why so many brothers and sisters, when they were using the term black on you, they were pissed off at it. They were telling you were nothing. And now you swallow it and arrogant about it. Stop calling yourself what names what other people give you, because you'll be what they named you. You'll be that. You'll do that. You'll breathe. You'll live that. And that's what's happening with what you got, the so-called black, African, American, whatever they want to call themselves. That's what you got. Not Brittany Griner. Come on. Nah. Come on. Nah. Don't put him up there. Because Negroes will start getting mad because that Psyop didn't went in on them. Psyop. Making you believe something that you looking at, and you will still call it what they tell you to call it. So, this chick, Brittany Griner. No, I'm sorry. This dude, Brittany Griner. So, brother hipped it to me. I'm like, damn. I don't follow women's basketball because, not that I don't like, I love women. There's things women can do that men can't do. There's things men can do that women can't do. That's why you're attracted to her. That's why she's attracted to you, because she has things, she can do things, she can think of things, she can create things that you can't. Amen? And vice versa. You can do things that she can't do. You can be places that she can't. You're different species, but you're connected because of what you can do. And what you create from that, we don't want to know. We don't care about that. Brittany Griner is a dude. How we don't know that? I mean, and I know people that'll scratch your eyeballs out for saying that. For real. And so all the women I talk to, you lying motherfucker, that's a woman. I'm like, okay, look at her family. Look at her family, and them motherfuckers are midgets. Look at her arms. Her fucking arms are taller than me. And this is where you get all the sisters. Sisters just be like, oops. Listen to his voice. Well, I didn't know. Psyops. They fucking with your mind. Damn. It's right in your face, y'all. I mean, brothers, you know women, all you Macs, all you players. Come on, women, you know the brothers. These are your fathers. These are your brothers. And they can trick you like this. And you gonna act like you don't understand it? Oh, nigga, you understand. Psyops. They fuck with your mind. They got your ass.
Kind of records we have to take into this point.
Every day, just coming, not looking at the records, and just playing, trying to get better every game, and competing every night like it's our last game.
Now, you didn't get to play tonight because of your eye injury, so you had to watch your team win this championship clinching game on the road. What did you see from the sideline?
I just saw my team out there fighting hard. Just everybody helping everybody, and you know, it was just a hard-fought game, and we deserved this. We deserved this.
When you look back on this championship season, your first WNBA championship, what will you remember most?
Just the fight and everything that we had to do to get this win. Definitely remember that eye and that tooth.
What's up, cuz? I mean, you tell me. You call it a girl. You tell me. Psyops, where somebody takes your fucking mind and does what they want to do with it, and you don't do nothing but go along with it. And you will defend what they are doing to you. Ain't that what the African American does? Huh? Ain't that what you do? And then try to run and lie and hide and act like that ain't what you doing? You are going to see one of the way nature goes down. If you not with nature, nature ain't going to be with your ass. What the African American, what the Negro, what the black person got coming to them because of how they just went against nature, all the laws of nature. And I know you wanted to integrate. You wanted to do that. You can do what you want to do. You can be what you want to be. What goes around comes around. And when nature come back around for your ass, you ain't going to be able to say nothing. Because you was with it. You taught your children to be it. You turned your back on it. You wanted to be other motherfuckers, Greek, Hebrew, Israelite, Hotep, and turn your back on the people that brought you forth. For real, nigga? That's what you wanted to do? What goes around comes around. You wake up every morning, you go to bed, blah, blah. It's a cycle. And you decided to disrespect that. Knock yourself out, homie.
The psych ops going on for sure. So part of it is this pansexuality that we don't really know. And then we're not supposed to have an opinion. And we're supposed to believe everything they tell us. All of that. We're not supposed to be disturbed or concerned or anything. They're going to make you feel like you don't have a right to have an opinion or a right to be conservative because we're a conservative people. We don't accept everything as is. We don't. That's not our culture. We require people conduct themselves in a certain way. That's part of our culture. So how are you going to, but see, when we're not in our identity, you can't mandate what your culture is because they're telling us they made our culture. You see what I'm saying? As an African American, they made you. They brought you here. They designed you. They claim they engineered you. You only have what they say you have as an African American. Until you actually claim your true identity as the actual people of your bloodline, you cannot exert what your culture is. But when you say, I'm a Latahachie, and this is what we do, and this is what we don't deal with, and we don't accept this kind of stuff, this weird stuff is really not acceptable as part of our culture. We don't accept this. This weird pansexualist and displaying sexuality for the children is not part of our culture. We don't make kids think about sex prematurely. That's against our culture. It gives you have the ability to put control back in your life if you only knew the power of being your true self is as an American Indian. But then that's why at the top of the program, people are saying, but we don't do anything. Yes, there's a lot to do. And there are people doing it. But if you don't know, you got to start. You're doing a disservice to not just you, but more importantly to those that come behind you. Because my ancestors looked out for us starting in 1640. They were protecting us for what was they saw coming down the line. How dare I not work to make things better for hundreds and hundreds of years ahead of myself? How dare any of us not do the same thing? We have a duty, obligation. Yeah, as indigenous American Indians, you can say, this is not cool. It's not part of our culture. We're not having it. We're not having it. And then we could talk about the fact of other things that are problematic. All these, and then these black people and these black supremacists who are always pushing Africa down your throats. They're helping the Europeans push you out of the country so they can stay and you can go, because they know we gotta go. They want us to go. They just want to make sure they're not the ones that goes. These people teeter on the edge of acting like they're on your side, but they're not on your side. They're not on your side. As a matter of fact, let me quickly just show you how much they're not on your side. Let me see.
So while you're doing that, let me go ahead and comment on Ice Cream Cake's post. She said her friend was a substitute teacher. Black elementary schools filled with gay pride flags. Parents don't care. Let me tell you what this gay pride is. One of the things that gay people don't do, one of the first glaring things that they do is they don't have children. One of the things is they're trying to reduce the population. The abortion thing, you see how we are on that abortion thing? We act like we invented it. But we never say, what if you're the one being aborted? See, we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about the game or some other bullshit. The gay stuff is to ensure that you don't have children. Gay people don't have children. That's genocide right there. Long as they get you into it, you cool. They cool. And that's what I mean about psyops. They can come up with anything and tell it to you. You cool with it. You don't care. You don't care that somebody gave you life. Even if it was your mama, poor, broke down, on Section 8, she still gave you what she had. You don't respect that. You rather respect some other shit that they show you. Okay? What goes around comes around. I mean, this isn't something that you got to think about and scratch your ass. What goes around comes around. What you do follows you. You don't know that? Not what somebody else says. What you do. What you do. If you want to be into relationships where you don't produce yourself, I mean, what I don't got nothing to say about that. That's what you want to do. And it's going to follow you. You're going to answer to it lately. Because if you're reproduced, why wouldn't you reproduce yourself? Why wouldn't they want to reproduce themselves, Lisa?
Well, why wouldn't they? Exactly. The thing about it is, am I echoing?
No.
I hear an echo. Okay. Anyway, the reality is that we have all these people that are trying to fool us. All these psyops that are going on. We got black supremacists, white supremacists. We got all kinds of immigrants. We got everybody working to keep us confused. Why? Because we are the landlords and we need to be removed from the land. Everything's about that. We got diseases. We got all kinds of fear of famine. We got all kinds of fear of shortages. Everything's being done to keep us confused, off of our game. You're not focused. You can't focus on finding your people. You can't focus on claiming your true identity. You can't focus on collecting your kin because you thinking about all other kind of dumb stuff. You watching Roland Martin show you pictures of this stuff. Let me show you this. Let me grab this real quick. Woohoo!
Where is that dude? Where is that dude from? He is a clown. I can tell you right off. He's not from here.
No, you can tell by you can look at him and tell.
And this is what I'm saying, y'all. This is the stuff you got to pick up. This is the stuff you have to pick up. You have to pick up the intricate details of yourself. You have to know the intricate details of your females. You have to know the intricate details of your males. You have to know that other people come on and tell you anything. I see a sister, a Nigerian, speaks. She starts creaming her pants. Amen. You know how we do. You know how brothers do. We like to go down to Brazil. Huh? You have the same thing where you live. This is where we are. These are the things we're going to have to understand about ourselves if we're going to survive. Because if we keep doing stupid shit, we're not going to know the truth when it kicks us in the mouth. Are those people Brittany Grinder's parents?
Yep.
Who's the dude in the middle in the blue jeans?
Her daddy.
He damn near the shortest one in the group. Psyops, y'all. Psyops, y'all. They get you every time. They showing you what they doing. And we just go for it. No thinking. We don't think about it. I don't know. Huh? Nobody told me. What you talking about, Willis? I just don't know. That's the African American.
Symptoms even when you don't have the flu. So you can have secondary to skin contact. And then not everybody who's experiencing monkeypox in this current, public health emergency is having skin lesions. We're seeing patients who have lesions in the mouth, in the back of the throat. We're seeing people who have lesions in the vaccinated against it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't help you with.
In California, Governor Gavin Newsom. Gaffney. She's an infectious disease expert. And we're certainly glad to have her here. So first and foremost, Dr. Gaffney, what the hell is monkeypox?
So monkeypox is an infection primarily of the skin caused by a orthopox virus or monkeypox virus. It is not at all related to chickenpox. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. So we'll just get that out the way. If you've had chickenpox or been someone else has skin-to-skin contact with those lesions, they can pick up the virus that way. So some of this, quote unquote, sexual transmission may be secondary to skin contact. And then not everybody who's experiencing monkeypox in this current, public health emergency is having skin lesions. We're seeing patients who have lesions.
This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman.
Okay, let's back this up. This is the reality is this. This is what I want to say about it, because I don't want to get us knocked off or whatever. But what I am going to say about this is that they're only on our programming. Go to a country channel, television channel station. There will be no monkeypox. Listen to your radio. If it's country, rock, pop, there will be no monkeypox. It's only on your urban channels and these black supremacist stations that they're talking about this. And it's extremely racist that it's called monkeypox. What does it got to do with monkey? Let me tell you something. This might get us in trouble, but this is the thing. When I was back in the early 80s, when I was dealing with one of the first AIDS patients I took care of, they had this. The person was on reverse isolation. This is because you have no friggin' immunity, negative immunity. That's the people that get this. People who have any kind of resistance don't get this. Period. Period. An infectious disease expert, let me tell you, that's a joke. No infectious disease doctor is an expert because it's a joke science. It's a joke. A lot of areas have made advances, and that ain't one of them. That is not an area of expertise in medicine that has made a lot of advances since they were scraping pustules and injecting people with the daggone and putting that pus in the damn wounds of people during the time of Benjamin Franklin, that or Paul Revere rather. It hasn't improved that much. That's a fact. So this thing, no, I said I've seen this. It wasn't called that, but this pox I have seen in HIV patients, full-blown AIDS patients, when they have zero immunity. This is like the thing that they get. They usually have, they're negative. They have the lowest negative immunity that you can imagine, and they are in reverse isolation. And I've had the first AIDS patient I took care of had these pustules. And so, yeah, these pustules do occur. I've never seen it in anybody healthy or anybody who has any kind of immunity, but it does occur. Now, these numbers, y'all are the public. You don't. Numbers, they use numbers to scare you in the last 2 years. Numbers, because you don't have a context, is going to scare the general public. Do you know how many HIV patients or full-blown AIDS patients there are in New York and California? A lot. Think about how many of those actually have zero immunity. A lot. Think about how many of those actually would be susceptible to have this type of pox. Those exact numbers. So all they're doing is communicating to you numbers that actually occur and are present all the time. But because you don't know it, there you go. What we don't know. A lot is being done to us as far as psyops because of ignorance. And I'm not saying it to be mean, but the healthcare profession is very ignorant. They purposely dummy down doctors. They purposely dummy down nurses. People are becoming, you should know that. There are people in your family that have become nurses that you're surprised they made it through high school. Tell the truth. That didn't used to be the case. You had to be really on your P's and Q's. You had to be super smart to get through nursing school. Now you got folks that you're like, dang, I didn't know she knew how to count. How'd she become a nurse? Come on, y'all.
Monkeypox, y'all. I mean, this is how they know. So you have to remember, they throw something to you. If you jump on it, they know they got you. These people have been telling you your whole life. You don't know nothing about their lives. You don't know nothing about your grandmother's lives. You know nothing about your grandfather's lives. You know about Moore's lives. You know about Hebrew Israel. You know nothing. Those type people can be dogged every day of the week, and they are. I know you try to pretend like you not. You are. Pay attention to what's happening to you. Pay attention just the history they're giving you, and put yourself in that. Put your people in that, and you'll see where you fit in. It's not hard. You don't have to keep getting took. I know it feels comfortable to a lot of you. Oh, yeah, okay. Know yourselves. Look where are you from on this planet? What's your purpose on this planet? Shouldn't you know that? Visit us at AfricanAmericans.com. That's AAAin't.com. Dude, it's right at your fingertips. But you just keep handing it off to other people. And that's how they take advantage of you. This is what the sister's trying to tell you. This is simple. Is monkeypox fake? Or is it that something that you just get when you're with the Planet of the Apes? Tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, like I mentioned just a minute ago, that whole pustule thing, that is a real thing that occurs in full-blown AIDS patients that have no immunity. And the numbers are probably just the normal numbers you're going to see that are normal for the number of HIV and AIDS patients that we have in the country all the time. A certain amount of them are going to have full-blown AIDS, and a certain number of those are going to have this pox. But you don't know this, so you're thinking they're telling you it's some kind of massive outbreak. But these things, but it's being called something new, just like the horrible pneumonia is being called something flu. The new pneumonia, the flu pneumonia was called something new, just like this pox that occurs on AIDS patients is being called something new. Just like they call you something new. You see, the name change is what is that? What is the name change? The name change to bring it all back around and everything is your tar baby. It's your tar baby. It's to fool you. It's your psyops. The name changes. Change your name to African American. Change the pox name to monkeypox. Change the flu pneumonia into another name. And then you have a whole new thing to be afraid of. You have a whole new identity to be put back in a line with. And you accept it all. Okay, I'm African American. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. I'm African American, whatever you say, sir. Oh, yeah, my daddy and mama and my great grandmama, she was African American too. She don't even know that. If you called her by that, she'd be like, what's that? grandson. But you allow them to change the names of historical places and people who are historical figures to African American without you sounding one, excuse me, but they didn't call themselves that then. No objections. No objections. And you don't realize what you're doing is actually genocide. Yeah, they take real things and they change the name. And they recycle it so you can be scared and misled all over again. That's psyop. That's psyops. They use our fears to make billions. Now here's another gentleman besides Roland, more respected, Claude Anderson, right? Powernomics guy, right? He all about let the black people make money and give us a chance to make money. And y'all, we need to know how to make money. But then he told on himself. I saw this interview from I think it's 2019, and he really did tell on himself in a way that I don't know if y'all gonna pick this up or not. But to me, it's like he really told on himself. I'm gonna play this. Let's get that going. Where's he at? Where's he at? Here it is. No. What'd I do with it? Is that it? Oh, that might be it. Yep.
Communities. We didn't have everything we wanted, but it was ours.
Yeah, we only hear about Black Wall Street. Sometimes you hear about Bronzeville in Chicago. I can't remember the town in North Carolina, but we don't hear about that. They were literally those communities all over the country.
That's right. Well, Sweet Auburn and Atlanta, Georgia, that's had all the big hotels, fine restaurants, and everything. In North Carolina, what you're talking about now, I grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Let me use that as an example. I grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and we were looking for this social integration. You know why? Because we had our own businesses there. We had our own businesses. My family was part of one that had the only black bus line in the entire United States. The only black bus line. And I say we had a bus line, I'm not talking about 2 or 3 buses. We had over 500 buses.
Wow.
In Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And guess what? We had that from 1927 up to about 1967. We had in Winston-Salem, we also had our own cab companies. We had our own restaurants. We had our own hotels. We had our own school systems. And the bus lines, an example, we don't kill our buses.
Right.
Social integration. When all of a sudden, you also are talking about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King going down to Alabama, want to integrate the bus lines. Integrate whose bus lines? White bus lines. What they want? They didn't want to own and control and get the resources. They just want to sit on the front of it.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of, you tell me, what does that indicate? Now, if you want to get on the bus, and what you want to do is just want to sit on the front of it. Now, if the bus is moving, then the back of the bus will be where the front of the bus will move in a fraction of a second. And everybody gets off at the same time. And so in Winston-Salem, we had our own buses. And so when that movement was successful in Alabama, came up to Winston-Salem, and blacks in Winston-Salem says, we want to ride on front of some white buses. So we said, we don't have any white buses. They said, well, we'll get some so we can ride on the front of them.
I feel like a complete asshole because I never thought about that. Like that whole time they did the boycott, they should have been trying to establish their own bus company as opposed to wanting to ride. I never thought about that. Y'all boycotted for a year just to want to ride on the front?
See, you're a smart man.
I never thought about that.
But you got it now, right?
Yeah.
You said, no, what difference does it make for them sitting on the front of the back?
Okay, so he clearly said his family was involved with the bus companies. 500 buses were owned in Salem, South Carolina, or North Carolina, whatever. I think it's South Carolina. This is the thing, y'all. He is definitely boule. He's black supremacist. The thing about it, so from 1924 to 1960 something, let me tell you something. That's a long time. Not only that, that's early. 1924, that's during Plecker time, y'all. So when Plecker was making all these restrictions, they were winning. They were winning. They were striding. So if anybody knows historically that the Negro, that the indigenous people have always been successful in this country, this man knows. If anybody knows that there are 11 HBCUs that existed before emancipation, this man, he knows. He knows this stuff. Okay? So these people, what is he here for? He talks about we need to get it together economically. We always get it together economically. Don't have an immigrant stomping in our backyard, taking our place, ripping our opportunities out of our hands. We always come up. We always make a way. We're always inventing and innovating. That's who we are. So why is he acting like he got to tell us like he's using that Bill Cosby technique? Like, oh, let me tell what the Negro needs to do. I'm gonna give you all advice because you Negroes don't know what to do, and I'm a superior, so I'm gonna tell you. No, he's not a superior. Our people was making strides just like his people were making strides. He may think he's superior, but many of us all over this nation, as he said, were making mad moves, and we've been making moves since the 1200s. Okay. He is trying to intimidate us into feeling inferior and to feel like somebody else is controlling our outcomes, when the reality is we are the most powerful people. If only we just take ourselves in hand and take the reins of control of our destiny and be the people that we are actually identified to be, and the people who our bloodline tells us we are. That's all we need to do. That's all we need to do. Because when we do that, we will be free to tell these people, get these daggone people out my neighborhoods now, because this is not just my neighborhood. This is my nation. This is my homeland. So get them out. And not only get them out, you get out. And we have that power. We have the power to eject people out of our midst, get people off of our land, tell people what won't work and what won't work for us as a nation. But being an African American is just you're waiting in line to be ejected from this country. That's all. You're just waiting in line. Because you are already at the end of the line. So you're going to be the one that's going to get ejected. Exactly. And in the North, I grew up in New Jersey. I know 2 major farmers in New Jersey. My family moved next to 2 major Negro farmers in New Jersey, indigenous farmers in New Jersey. Most people don't even know about that, but they're in very affluent areas in Monroe Township, New Jersey. Okay. And so, and also the other is another county. I forget. Oh, near Englishtown or near Asbury. The other one was, but yeah, our people have farms not just in the South but in the North, and that's what we don't know, and that's what they don't want us to know and remember. But we have to not only remember this, we have to teach this, we have to report this, and we have to make it historically documented. As a matter of fact, we should be fighting any of those people that are Lenapes. You should be having placards put up for the indigenous people that had farms, who were Indians, the Petites, the Lawrences in New Jersey. How about those people? Those are your farmers. Those are your landowners. These people need to be recognized. Okay. We should actually do that. Start like a lost, these hidden farmers, the lost farmers, and at least let placards be up, and then strive to replace them. Strive to create that restitution of our land, our farms, our ways of life. That's what we need to be doing. You're from Newark, New Jersey? Okay, the Holloway family. Well, I'm like, there are a lot of people that, I'm not an indigenous New Jerseyan, but like I said, I grew up in New Jersey, and there are a lot of indigenous New Jerseyans, and there are indigenous farmers. And now, if you go to those ends, you wouldn't even know it. But because I'm older, I'm at least old enough to have known these people and to talk about them and to know they exist. I don't know. But anyway, basically, that's what we do. That's what's important.
So
Is
this is what's important. The psychological operations that's going on. Psych has to deal with the mind. If you hand your mind over to other people, to people like Biden, the people who you vote for, if you go the way of Trump and all these people, all these foreigners who don't have your interest in mind, they have their interest in mind, just like you should have your interest in mind. Somehow we get convoluted with that. We think their interests are our interests, and it has never worked. Somebody show me something, and you don't, but yet you keep talking like you do. You're making it bad for yourselves. And I would suggest we ought not do that. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. Pay attention to the psychological operations that's going on. The main thing that's going on right now is they're trying to push that Brittany Griner stuff on you. That's a dude. Damn, listen to it. Listen to him talk. That's all you have to do. I know you can do what you want to do. This is how the psychological, and you should see it now with all the male-female problems, males boxing women, males you see they're trying to cause confusion. Don't pass that on to your children. That's all I'm saying. Lisa, you want to close out with anything?
Yeah, you gotta understand that. Let me see, there's a little echo going on. Is it going away? Okay. Yeah, I think it's better. So you can hear me? Okay. Anyway, so basically, what I want to say is that, yeah, everybody's trying to fool you. You're being fooled, you're being distracted. Don't believe it. Question everything. Question everything. The fact that we were all slaves, come on now. Look at these colleges. Look at this listing right here. This is here, and they may take it down. I don't know what they're going to do, because they are feeling desperate right now. But if you look at it, it says 1837 Cheney University of Pennsylvania. Then you go all the way to 1865, and you got Virginia Union University in 1865. There are 11 colleges that existed before so-called emancipation, which we all should be aware of the fact that that wasn't no emancipation of no Negroes. They were putting up colleges during 1865. Do you see it? Bowie, Clark, Shaw, Virginia Union, all put together. Wait a minute. Virginia Union, Shaw, Clark, Bowie, all put together, all established in 1865. Baby, that means how you being emancipated when you building colleges for yourself. Make it make sense. And then afterwards, there were 6 more. Look at the list. It goes down to 1666. You got Rust College, Lincoln, Fisk, Edwards. They were all in 1866. And then in 1867, whoa, baby. You got Tallahassee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in 1867. Does that sound like people who are just getting out of shackles? Does that sound like people who were just getting out of shackles, y'all? They lie about everything. And then you got these black supremacists who said that, oh yeah, he was a former slave. Everybody wasn't a former slave. Look at these universities. They got stories about somebody named Fuller talking about he was a great mathematician and oh, he was a former slave. No, he wasn't a former slave. Everyone wasn't a former, and an African. They got them coming from Africa too. They're doing all these things that don't make sense. Don't allow it anymore. Check it whenever you see it. If you can physically change it, change it. If you can correct somebody, verbally correct them. If you can send them an email, send them an email. But also, I want you all to send emails to Maxine Waters about this next Freedman hearing. I want you to send her. You can go there. You have to make sure you can go to her website, her government website, but you have to have a California zip code. But you put in a California zip code, and then you can send her information. You can send her contact information. But tell her that you want to have some inclusion of indigenous information at that hearing. I asked to talk at that hearing because they are not talking about who the Indians are, who the natives are, and who the daggone freedmen are. And the freedmen, they're not being clear about who the players are in this. And until you clarify who was with whom, and who was the slave and who was free, and all this misinformation is being put out there. Until we clear this, we're not going to go forward. So what can be done? A lot can be done. What do you need to be doing? You need to be organizing your families. You need to be communicating with your families. You need to contact them on social media. You need to reach out to them. You need to be working on your genealogy. You need to be researching where your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandma came from. What county was she from? And find out what Indians were there and find out those were your Indians. That's what you need to be doing. And then you need to be repatriating those Indians. Make yourself into those Indians. In addition to that, you need to be correcting this African American and eradicating it wherever you see it. You got it? That's it for me.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lise, and you guys really ought to give it up to this sister because she's, I mean, damn. But before we get out of here, I just want to show something. It's what Lisa and I talk about all the time, and this is not to put this brother on blast, but this is to let you guys know something, how you make yourself look, not to us because we already know, but to the rest of the world, and this is how they come over and get your shit. So you see this brother, Jamil Ibrahim. My mother's grandfather was a sergeant in the Confederate Army, Edmund May, and his grandfather fought the Revolutionary War. William Bede Key and the first governor of Alabama was my fifth great-great-grand. Now, see how all that sounds good? But you see how it's going to sound when he come up with the name Jamil Ibrahim? Jamil Ibrahim wasn't names and family used back in that time. And this is where brothers always get stuck and they can't change. This is what fucks us up. You're calling yourself Jamil Ibrahim, but you claiming your father was the first governor in Alabama. I mean, is it that hard? And this is where we make ourselves look like assholes every day. You're trying to be something else, but you're claiming you're claiming something that doesn't connect to you. I mean, god damn, y'all. This is how simple this shit is. And we don't get it. So listen, check us out at AfricanAmericans.com. That's AAAin't.A.com. Check us out. Read up the history. It's just reading simple shit. You will be through this book in a week. And when you out of it, you won't call yourself Haru Atma. You're calling yourself something that doesn't connect you to your folks. I mean, goddamn. Really? So, we want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. What Lisa said, find your people, find the counties. I mean, this is simple shit, y'all. A 5-year-old would get it. And people just walking over taking your shit because you call yourself Jamil Ibrahim, and they'll call themselves William Bibb Key.
I mean, he was raised Muslim, he said. And so, you know, and we also understand where he was raised. He was raised in northern Jersey. That's a very big Mecca for Muslims. So I mean,
I got that. But goddamn. But now, I mean, okay, that was doing now the next time, but now, can we catch up? And we can't. Come on, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Damn.
The other thing that people need to be aware of is that these names, Key, May, a lot of these names are indigenous names. They're not English names. They're not European names. They're actually American, Indian names. There are real names. They lied and said that we're giving slave masters names, when in reality these names are indigenous to America. That's another lie we've been told. So please embrace your surnames.
This that symbol. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but god damn, y'all. So listen, join us next time. Check us out at aa.a.com. AfricanAmericans.com. Support us, because we'll support you. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Peace.